Hey everyone, it's Mr. Johnny here with virtually BGCMC. This video is going to be part one of how to draw Thor. It's going to be the female version of Thor, Jane Foster. So all you're going to need is paper, pencil, and eraser. So go ahead and grab those things and let's get started. We're going to start off with our circle for the head here. I'm starting it a little bit lower on the page because we want to leave room for the hammer. And because this is a little bit more of intermediate drawing, not quite advanced, but a little bit more difficult than what we usually draw, we're going to break this video up into two parts. Part one, we're going to be getting the basic shapes in place, the primary and the secondary shapes. Okay, now we got the circle for the head. Starting off very lightly, as we usually do. Here, the body is going to be an oval shape, kind of just like maybe even a circle. It kind of just depends on how long or short you want the body. That's really up to you. But we're going to tuck it right here back behind this circle that we drew for the head. Okay. If you want this kind of look, make sure the head is bigger than the body. That's gonna give it kind of more of a babyish cute look. If you want to try making the body bigger than the head, you could do that too. And your drawing will have kind of a different feel to it. So this version of Thor, or the style, I kind of based it on an artist named Scotty Young. Famous comic book artist, does a lot of work where he turns the characters into like little kid versions. So that's kind of the influence here. Actually, that's the direct influence, but we're trying to put our own spin on it. All right, now this here, this is just the arm, the gesture for the arm going up here. And then we're gonna get this bend in the arm on this side, okay? So as for now, I'm working really loose, drawing lightly, and just really mapping things out. And if you've joined our draw-alongs before, you know as we start developing the drawing, we're gonna make a lot of adjustments along the way. So maybe this pose won't even be the same pose by the end of the drawing. But really, we're trying to get the marks down on the page to give us an idea of where everything is going to go. Okay. Now we're getting the gesture for the legs here. Just a wide stance. That's all you're going for. Give her these little pointy feet here. So if you're kind of confused, this is Thor. It is the Jane Foster version of Thor, who is a character from the Thor comics and movies as well. It was a bit of a surprise to everyone when they revealed her as Thor in the comics. So again, just getting the gesture down here. I'm noticing this leg is smaller and shorter, thinner and shorter than this one. So I'm trying to decide, maybe I'll make this one. I'll shorten this leg up here. There we go. But yeah, a few years ago in the comics, they turned Jane Foster into the new Thor, and then they're finally going to do it for the movies coming out. The new Thor movie that's coming out, Love and Thunder. So, which I'm really looking forward to that one. Okay. Now we got our basic pose in place, right? This is what I would call the primary shapes, all the big main shapes that we need for the character. Now we're going to go ahead and add the secondary shapes. So still important shapes, just a little bit smaller and more detailed than the big ones. Okay, the first one we're going to do here is the hammer. So we got the arm coming up here. The hand is going to be around this area, so I'm going to draw the handle going this way here. we're gonna get a long rectangle in here for the hammer's handle. Mjolnir, if you know the hammer by name. There we go. And then, so we got this long, thin rectangle, and then right above it, we're gonna do another rectangle. This one's gonna be a little bit wider, like that. I got pretty close to the top of the paper, so just be careful here with your drawing. If you're getting too close, you could always shorten up the handle and the hammer to fit if you need to. There we go. Okay. We're also going to, let's get our midlines in here. So we got the vertical midline and then the horizontal midline. This is gonna help us. We're gonna start putting in the shapes for the helmet, and this is gonna help us to get everything nice and even, okay? When drawing the helmet, I like to start off with these parts on the side first. They're kind of like wing shape. So I'll come over here to the side, just inside a little bit from the edge of the circle, and then I'll start with a curve going this way. Okay. Coming down this way, and then as we go up here, we're gonna curve back out and then reverse the curve. Once I get past the edge or this edge of the circle here, you see, then I start to turn the curve going the other way. There we go. I don't want to make these too big, because if I make them too big on this side, it's going to overlap all of this stuff and kind of make the drawing a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. So again, I'll keep these fairly small. Once you get here, make them as big as you want or as tall as you want, then you just curve back down and connect these parts like that. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So curving down this way. And then same thing going up. Again, once we reach the circle, then we curl here, make it nice and pointy, and then just go back down this way. So I already can tell with how close I made the handle and the arm, this part of the helmet is going to overlap my hand probably quite a bit. So it's not going to look exactly like this side. But that's okay. That's part of every drawing process. Once you start going, sometimes the drawing starts to take a life of its own, and you could either go with the flow or you could try to push against it and make those corrections. I personally kind of like to go with the flow and then just see where the drawing leads. Okay, so we got these side parts in place. Now for here, the edge of the helmet, it's also going into the nose. So we're gonna go down a little bit from the midline, maybe about down here, and then curve going down this way, like that. And do the same thing on this side. So we're getting the point right at the midline. As you could see, that's gonna help us to get our face nice and even. Okay, and then the last part for the helmet shape is here. We're gonna follow this edge of the circle up this way, and then as we get closer to the center, then we start to go up and bring it to a point on this end. So if you could see, we have opposite points, one going up and one going down here. Okay. Same thing here. I'm gonna bring it down, and there we go. Okay. So the final secondary shapes that we're gonna put in here are the hair and the cape. So this part, really what you want to do is what I like to do is try not to have too much structure. So these parts are kind of like flowing in the wind, right? So you just want to be pretty loose when drawing these parts. And then again, once we seal everything in and add all the final details, if there's any minor things you want to change, then you could change it at that point. But right for now, let's just try to get the flow of the cape. Maybe it's going this way and then coming down like this. Okay. And probably down here as well. It's cutting through. Just do it like that. Okay, so we got the cape, and then the hair is going to come out of the side of the head here. There we go. I think I don't really like that curve there. Let me try that again. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Again, just be kind of loose with it. Just trying to get an idea of the flow. Okay, so that's part 1 of how to draw Thor. Join us for part 2, where we add all the details and finish off the drawing. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you in the next one.